Hello and welcome back to another video. So in this one I'm benchmarking Palworld, which is a new open world survival crafting game that's kind of based around Pokemon, kind of similar. So this has just been released and of course I'm starting at 1080p, very low preset on GTX 1650, which is in reality just like everything low settings. So I'm already on the very low preset. And as you can see, we're getting around 60 FPS, sometimes a bit below, sometimes above 60 FPS. It really depends. If you're looking out, obviously, in the wider environment, it's going to drop below, but we're staying almost always above 50 at the very least, so it's pretty smooth on the lowest settings. It's a pretty decent experience. However, the graphics definitely don't look as good as they could do, and there's a lot of pop-in on the very low preset, which is why I wouldn't necessarily recommend this unless you have like a really low-end system and you kind of don't have a choice. Then obviously I recommend it, but if possible, I think it's best. This game's best enjoyed at higher settings than this because the visuals are just a bit, I guess, bland compared to higher settings. But yeah, if you want a kind of close to 60 FPS experience, this is the way to go on the GTX 1650. Game's definitely playable like this. So yeah, this has been low settings, or very low preset. So next, we're going to do the low preset. As you can see, the low preset actually is basically most things on medium. So yeah, I think I'd probably recommend low preset because it's actually mostly medium settings and it looks a lot better than very low preset. As you can see, there's quite a lot more detail now. The grass, there's significantly less pop-in, and you can expect mainly in the 40s. So it's definitely not as smooth, but it's almost always going to be above 30. Like looking out in the environment, it's still in the late 30s. This area is kind of in the 40s, so it's not too bad, and I think the visuals just look a lot better to the extent that it's probably worth playing it with a low preset, with like everything on medium compared to very low, just because of how much better it looks. Still a little bit of pop-in, but it's definitely not as jarring or noticeable compared to the very low preset. So yeah, this is low preset for you. It's basically everything on medium. You can kind of expect in the 40s most of the time. So it's not too bad. It's not too bad, the performance. Okay, so next we're going to do medium preset, which is in reality everything basically on high. So medium settings, as you can see, the visuals are really good, but it's looking a bit more rough now. When we look out into the environment, you can see that it's dropping below 30, so it's a little bit rough. It's not really recommendable. Obviously, when we're not looking out into the wider environment, it is getting in the 30s still, though. But yeah, in intensive scenes, when you're kind of looking out into the distance, you can expect, unfortunately, a few drops below 30, so I think probably low presets probably the way to go in this game. I think you could potentially play on high if you're okay with a few drops below 30, but yeah. Okay. But yeah, you're gonna get around 30 FPS at this preset basically. So yeah. Next up, high settings. So this is in reality everything mostly on Epic, with like one thing set to high texture quality. So as you can see, this is almost max settings, and with these kind of settings, we're getting in the 20s, so I wouldn't consider this to be playable. Oh, I'm hungry. Maybe I need to eat some red berries. I don't know whether I can eat this. So obviously this is a survival game, so I'll see you later on. Okay, so yeah, not really playable on Epic settings. Definitely won't play on the max settings on this graphics card. It's pretty choppy, so yeah. And then lastly, Epic settings. So the only difference here is textures are also on Epic now, which probably isn't going to work very well on a 4GB card. As you can see, the frame rate is actually about the same. I think it's just stuttering a little bit more because its textures like on Epic, so yeah. But yeah, definitely don't play on Epic. So overall, I would probably recommend the low preset, not the very low preset, the low one with like most of the settings on medium. So yeah, overall that's what I recommend. Although if you really want a close to 60 FPS experience as possible, then very low is the way to go. It depends on your preferences when it comes to visuals versus performance. So I hope you found this video informative, and I plan to be back with more benchmarks very soon indeed.